They've seen your message, read your words, and yet, nothing. Silence. A void so loud it almost screams. You sit there, staring at the empty screen, wondering if you should reach out again, explain yourself, or beg for a reply. But let me ask you this. Is your value determined by their acknowledgement? Is your peace of mind a hostage to someone else's attention? Today we'll uncover the ancient wisdom of the Stoics, philosophers who taught us the art of self-control, fortitude, and the power to overcome destructive emotions. Together, we'll explore how to respond when faced with indifference, not with desperation, but with dignity. By the end of this, you'll have the tools to never feel ignored again, not because they'll always reply, but because you'll find something far more powerful than their response. Number 1. The power of silence in a noisy world. When someone ignores your message, your first instinct might be to chase. To send a follow-up, perhaps framed with an apology or an explanation. But consider this. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When they don't respond, it's an event outside your control. Why surrender your peace to something you can't govern? Silence isn't rejection, it's a canvas. When you choose not to react impulsively, you reclaim the narrative. The truth is, chasing someone's attention often leads to a loss of respect, both theirs and your own. Instead, take the Stoic path. Pause, reflect, and redirect your energy inward. Epictetus taught us, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. The same applies here. Their lack of response doesn't harm you. It's your attachment to their response that does. Instead of begging for validation, send a message of profound self-worth, not through words, but through action. How? By stepping back and refusing to engage in the game of seeking approval. This isn't indifference, it's mastery. It's saying, my value isn't tied to how others perceive me, it lies in how I perceive myself. The next time you feel the pull to plead or over-explain, stop and remember the Stoics' wisdom. Remain calm, for silence isn't an absence, it's a declaration of self-respect. Let them wonder why you're not chasing. Let them question why their indifference hasn't broken you. In your stillness, there is power. Number 2, a response worthy of a Stoic. When silence meets silence, the air thickens with unspoken questions. But when silence meets wisdom, it transforms into something greater, a statement of self-assurance. The next time someone ignores your message, resist the urge to react emotionally. Instead, craft a response rooted in the principles of Stoicism, one that conveys strength without arrogance, clarity without desperation. Picture this. You send a single, deliberate message, not to beg, but to assert. A message like, I respect your space and your decision. When you're ready, feel free to reach out. These words are a testament to self-control, a hallmark of Stoic thought. Seneca, a revered Stoic, reminds us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. By sending this message, you're showing that you crave nothing, not their reply, not their validation. You are complete, whether or not they respond. This approach shifts the dynamic. No longer are you the one seeking approval, you become the one offering understanding. It demonstrates that you value your peace of mind over fleeting attention, and paradoxically, it often draws respect. After all, self-control is magnetic. People are drawn to those who possess it because it's rare in a world where emotions so often dictate actions. And here's the beauty of this response. It's final. You've said all that needs to be said. If they choose to reply, it's on their terms, not because you pressured them. If they don't, it's their loss, not yours. You've upheld your dignity, preserved your mental peace, and shown that you're governed by reason, not impulse. In sending this message, you embody the words of Epictetus. Seek not for events to happen as you wish, but wish for events to happen as they do, and you will have peace. You've aligned yourself with the flow of life, unshaken by what you cannot control. Number 3, overcoming the need for approval. Why does being ignored sting so deeply? Because at its core, it threatens our sense of self-worth. The need for approval is an ancient craving, hardwired into human nature. Yet the Stoics saw this dependence on others' opinions as a trap, one that binds us to the whims of external forces, leaving us vulnerable and perpetually dissatisfied. Consider the teachings of Marcus Aurelius. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own. When someone doesn't reply, our instinct is to interpret it as a judgment, a silent verdict on our value. But this interpretation is a choice, not a fact. What if their silence isn't about you at all? What if it reflects their distractions, their priorities, or their struggles? The Stoic response to this uncertainty is to detach, not from people, but from the need for their approval. Instead of measuring your worth by external validation, measure it by your adherence to virtues: self-discipline, courage, and wisdom. Seneca advised, "The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach." You don't need their reply to feel whole. That completeness is already within you. Here's the paradox. The more you free yourself from needing their attention, the more likely they are to notice you. Why? Because confidence rooted in self-sufficiency is irresistible. It radiates a quiet power that speaks louder than any words. When you stop chasing approval, you create space for respect. The next time you feel the sting of being ignored, remind yourself, you are not defined by others' silence. Instead, let it be a reminder of your independence. By mastering the art of detachment, you reclaim control, not over others, but over yourself. And in doing so, you embody the true essence of Stoicism. Number 4. Turning rejection into redirection. Being ignored can feel like rejection, and rejection, when unchecked, often spirals into doubt, anger, or self-pity. But the Stoics teach us that rejection is not an ending, it is a redirection. It is life's way of clearing paths that no longer serve us, urging us toward something greater. As Epictetus famously said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." When faced with silence, ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? Is it a call to reevaluate the relationship, to reassess your expectations, or to redirect your focus toward your own growth? Stoicism is built on the principle of accepting reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. By embracing this, you turn what seems like rejection into an opportunity to strengthen your resolve. Here's how. Instead of obsessing over the unanswered message, channel that energy into self-improvement. Go to the gym, learn a skill, or immerse yourself in a passion that fuels your soul. By investing in yourself, you create a ripple effect that extends far beyond this moment of silence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have to assemble your life yourself, action by action." Each step you take toward growth diminishes the weight of their absence. This redirection is not about proving your worth to them, it's about proving it to yourself. Silence becomes a gift, a chance to refocus on the only thing you can truly control, your actions. And in doing so, you embody the fortitude of the Stoic mindset. Here's the truth. Not everyone will see your value, and that's okay. Your worth is not a consensus. It's a constant, unshaken by others' inability to recognize it. When you stop pleading for attention and start cultivating your own strength, you radiate a power that no silence can diminish. In their words or their silence, you remain steady, a lighthouse in the storm. Number 5, building emotional resilience. In a world where silence often feels like a dagger, emotional resilience becomes your armor. To the Stoics, resilience was not merely the ability to endure hardship, it was the ability to thrive despite it. When ignored, it is tempting to let emotions like anger, sadness, or frustration take hold. But as Seneca reminds us, he who is brave is free. And bravery begins with mastering your emotions. When you feel the sting of being disregarded, pause. Observe the emotion as it arises, but don't let it consume you. The Stoics believed in separating the event from your interpretation of it. Silence in itself has no power. It's the story you attach to it. I'm not important. Or they don't care about me. That wounds you. By challenging these narratives, you reclaim your emotional equilibrium. Emotional resilience also requires preparation. Just as a soldier trains before entering battle, the Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the anticipation of challenges. They would visualize possible setbacks and imagine their responses, fortifying themselves against life's uncertainties. You can do the same. Prepare yourself for the possibility of being ignored, not with fear, but with the calm assurance that you'll respond with dignity and grace. Building resilience doesn't mean suppressing emotions, it means channeling them. When you feel hurt, use that energy constructively. Write, meditate, or exercise. These acts not only release tension but also remind you of your agency. Marcus Aurelius counseled, You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Strength is not found in controlling others' actions, but in mastering your own reactions. When you cultivate emotional resilience, silence no longer feels like an attack. It becomes an opportunity to demonstrate your strength, to rise above fleeting emotions, and to embody the virtues that the Stoics revered. You're no longer a prisoner of others' actions. You're the architect of your own peace. Number 6, reclaiming your inner freedom. When someone ignores you, it's easy to feel powerless, as though your happiness hangs in the balance of their response. But to a Stoic, this is an illusion. True freedom isn't found in the external world, it's rooted deep within. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." To reclaim your inner freedom, you must learn to let go of what you cannot control. Imagine a bird trapped in a cage, pacing back and forth, longing for the world beyond the bars. Now imagine the door to the cage is open, but the bird doesn't leave. This is what it looks like to let external events, like silence, dictate your emotions. The cage is not their silence. The cage is your attachment to their response. Freedom lies in stepping beyond it. To do this, start by shifting your focus inward. The energy you spend agonizing over why they didn't reply can be redirected to something far more valuable: your own growth. Instead of asking, "Why aren't they responding?" ask, "How can I become better, stronger, and more resilient?" This shift in perspective is transformative. It empowers you to rise above the noise of the world and align yourself with the Stoic principle of self-mastery. This inner freedom doesn't mean shutting people out or becoming indifferent to relationships. It means approaching them from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. You're no longer asking, "What can I take?" but "What can I give?" This mindset change liberates you. It allows you to engage with others without losing yourself. Ultimately, reclaiming your inner freedom means understanding that your value is inherent, unshaken by others' recognition or lack thereof. In their silence, you are still whole. In their absence, you remain steady. For as Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." When you embrace this truth, you stop chasing answers, attention, or approval. You walk through life with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that nothing outside of you can define your worth. By now, you've uncovered the essence of the Stoic response to silence: self-control, emotional resilience, and the courage to focus inward rather than outward. The next time someone ignores your message, you'll know exactly how to react, not with desperation, but with dignity. You'll send a message of respect, or perhaps say nothing at all, because your value doesn't depend on their reply. The silence of others can no longer disrupt your peace, for you've learned to master the art of detachment. Epictetus reminded us we suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgments about them. You've now chosen a different judgment, not one of rejection, but of redirection. When you embrace this mindset, you'll notice something profound. The energy you once wasted on seeking validation is now yours to use for growth, passion, and purpose. You'll stand taller, think clearer, and act with conviction. The world may remain chaotic, but within you, there will be calm. And this calm is contagious. Those who once ignored you will begin to notice the quiet strength you exude. They may wonder why you're no longer why you're no longer pleading for their attention. And in that moment, you'll understand the words of Marcus Aurelius: "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. The best revenge is self-mastery." Now it's your turn to take action. Let this philosophy guide your every interaction. The next time silence greets you, don't beg or despair. Instead, respond with the poise of a Stoic. Together, let's embody the timeless teachings of Stoicism and inspire the world with our strength. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.